Hello there! In the last videos we talked about notes, I talked about harmonies and rhythm, but today I'm going to talk about special effects. And why do I use them? So special effects are pretty much everything that goes beyond the notes and the rhythm and the dynamics. Other unconventional ways to use the instrument. There are many composers who like to write a lot of effects in their pieces. Actually, I never think about effects. I never think I want to put effects. I always think about the general notes, rhythms, and dynamics and everything. And then the effects are an increment to the piece, an increment to the expressivity of the piece. So for example, in the beginning, I write a percussion sound in the harp to give this reinforcement of the strong and the loud beginning. So I start with a loud beginning and I want it to sound quite sudden, and I'm imagining a percussionist playing with a group. The percussionist in this case will be the harp. And the percussion in the harp can be played in many different ways. But I will be very generic and I'll just write a low sound like a bass drum and a high sound like snare drum. The next strategy that I use is this indication près de la table, which means near the soundboard. In this technique, the harp is placed near the soundboard. And it results in a different timbre. Why do I use this? Here I have a G, so I have a G on the trombone and a G on the harp that is repeated. And because we have constant harmony, every time the harmony stays still and I'm repeating the same note, I never repeat it in the same way. It's almost rule that I have that here, okay, I repeat it, first I repeat it normal, then I repeat it with harmonics, and then I repeat it near the soundboard, and then I repeat the G but with a massive chord. So I'm playing G in many different ways, also with different dynamics. Here I write what is called a thunder effect, a violent glissando in the low register. This I write it as a climax, and since the trombone is playing in a very low register, very loud, maybe I'll even write 3 Fs actually, because so they are the same dynamic. And the harpist, she has a glissando, and then it culminates in this low register glissando, and it's a way of increased expressivity, increase drama in the piece. Instead of writing the notes don't really matter, it just matters the big loud effect as a reinforcement to the trombone low register. Here I have a G sharp that is repeated, and here I use the same strategy as before. I use playing ordinario, so ordinario, ORD means from Italian, playing in a normal way, gradually to près de la table, so near the soundboard, and goes back to ordinario, so normal, ordinario, ORD means normal, and pincer, it means that the harpist plucks the string. Why all these effects? Because as you see, we are constantly repeating the same note. It's a static melody, harmony. We don't even have harmony here. So because it's such a dry place, I need to color it with all these effects to make it interesting. Otherwise it will sound boring. That's why the different rhythms. In the trombone, I write this part with a wah-wah mute. A 1-1 mute is a special kind of mute that can open and close and has a very, very interesting sound. And this part I have a F sharp which plays constantly, and I have a kind of improvisatory rhythm, and I write here slow improvisation, slowly opening and closing the mute, and these signs means to open and close the mute, and here it's quite free and I let the musicians improvise a bit here. In this part, I ask for the harpist to hit the strings in a really violent manner, and this is a very, this is the end of a small cadenza by the harp. The cadenza, it means like a section where the harpist shows off a bit. The trombone is not playing here, and she's playing really complex, showing all her skills. It's quite virtuosistic, and it ends with this super loud chord, and with the pensée in the bass, which is really plucking super hard and then hitting the strings in a violent manner. So there is this small fermata, so where they stop a bit, and then we have this really pesante, and with this crazy effect, which is, this is actually a quarter tone flat, which is not, it's between a flat and a normal note. What happens is that the pedals of the harp, they are between the natural and the flat position, and because they are not in the right position, the string will buzz, and then the harpist will resolve the sound. This is like the culmination of this section, and so it really makes noisy sound, and all these effects, as I told you and I repeat, they are meant to increment the drama of the piece. So I do not think I want to write a piece with these sounds. I write the piece and then I think these sounds, these possibilities can enhance the piece. The last effect that I have here is Bartók pizzicato, which is a technique that is originally for string instruments. So in string instruments it has a certain meaning, a Bartók pizzicato, I'm talking about this symbol, but in the harp it means that the harpist plays the note predilatable, so near the soundboard, and at the same time hits the soundboard. This is the last effect, which I really quite like it here to end the piece. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you on the next one.